are looking for. We are live streaming.
A lot of stuff on my desk. There's a little more. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lancaster Town Board work session for November 3rd, 2025. This evening, we have no special presentations, and we're going to get right into our department heads, some information from each of them as we go around the room. Ed, I'm going to start off with you today. We'll start off, and then Matt, but if you do me a favor, we're getting the Siebert Road Culvert project finally put out to the company that bid on it. Could you explain to me how we got to this point, what took so long?
Sure. I don't know when we started, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, but the culvert, we closed the road because the culvert had collapsed on the top. And ironically, at the same time, we were submitting for a grant through New York State for culverts. And the grant for New York State, this time around, paid 100%. In the past, they had not. So we were successful in getting the grant. So it came down to, do we take the grant money or do we forego the grant and spend town money? It was between $600,000 and $700,000. So the decision was to take the grant money, which we did. So that starts the process because it's a DOT project. They're the grantee, or the grantor, I should say. And so the first thing we have to wait for is a contract between the town and the state. That takes usually 2 or 3 or 4 months. Once that's in place, then you can start actually working on the project. And the manual you have to go through, DOT, probably about 6 inches thick of rules and regulations you have to follow. Securing a design consultant, that's a process that took 2 or 3 months probably. And then getting them going. Started the design. The issue came up that during the design, you have to do environmental studies for wetlands, fauna, excuse me, and the wetland regulations changed in the middle of this process come January 1 of this year. And that threw it into kind of no man's land for a little bit because the DEC was very, to be honest with you, overwhelmed with all the requirements that have been put on them by the new law. And we finally got through that this spring, where the DEC and the Army Corps signed off. So then we were able to finalize the design documents and go out to bid, which we've done. We had the bid opening, and tonight we're looking to award to the low bidder. Excuse me. So it's just a process of going through the state requirements and talking to other consultants in the area. We are not the only one that's gone through this process this time around. There have been several projects delayed.
Okay, so it was in the hands of the state for a long period of time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to keep bugging you because obviously you got a little something
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
there, but anything else for this evening?
No, the turf field is pretty much wrapping up. Got a little bit of cleanup work to do. Senior center jobs are finishing up. Yeah, I did pass out to everyone the 60% report for Ellicott Creek. So at some point we'll have to get some feedback and see what we want to do with that. So
Okay,
that's it.
great, thank you. Matt?
Sure, thank you. Earlier today, we did load up some information onto the town's website, just in an effort to remind people during the daylight savings weekend, excellent time to check batteries on smoke detectors for those older detectors. But more importantly, that if we were to look at the production date that's on the detector, if it's older than 10 years, it's time to replace it with a newer version, a 10-year sealed battery. We're transitioning to the 2025 code cycle. We have one volume of code books, and we're beginning a process of training where there's 12 mandatory hours from the Department of State just to get acclimated to the new code. The first segment is tomorrow morning between 8 and 12, which I'll attend through webinars. And if you don't mind, I'd like to read a statement with some statistics regarding our budget and our budget hearing tonight.
Great.
And I would implore that our board does honor the department's request for fiscal year 26 for the simple reason that, we worked really hard this year, the entire staff, dealing with the volume, but we've also found ways to be more efficient with what we already have. And we proposed the budget to be $30,000 less than the year of 2025. So I again would implore that this board honor that budget proposal, only because of all of the demands from the Department of State as to what's required from us without reimbursement from the state for those services, things like computer equipment, training, and other items of operation, just to get an idea of what we entailed for the entire year. Because when I wrote this, it was in October, and here we are in the beginning of November. We issued a total of 1,140 building permits with a total value of improvements exceeding $103,484,000, and of course the fees were about $270,000 bringing in. We've taken on 805 complaints. We did 210 fire safety and property maintenance inspections. And in my opinion, it's not enough for the amount of area that we need to cover to fulfill the state's requirements for doing these safety inspections on these commercial buildings. 210 for a fiscal year, it's just not, it's not cutting it. Sure. So, and that's the purpose of submitting the budget amounts for the staffing changes and the maintenance of the operations, which includes replacements of our computer equipment as well as our vehicles and other tools that we need on a regular basis. So I can say that this year, the budget process was probably the most interactive that I've experienced in the 9 years that I've been here, as far as discussions and understanding what the department request is and what the purposes are for. So I'm grateful for that. But outside of that, again, I'm always open to have further discussions. If you need a little more in-depth knowledge of what we do, why we do, and how we do it, I'm always available.
Okay, thank you. Mindy, you want to step up to the front here and... Nicole? Oh, man,
Sorry.
that's okay.
And that's my fault.
That's all right. I'm Nicole Gunter. I'm the program coordinator.
I apologize,
That's all right.
but I was just double checking because isn't she told me
I gave the wrong name.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
you're killing me.
I'm just filling in for John. He's off today, so I'm the person for him. First, I just wanted to thank you all. I wanted to thank the board for all the support that you guys give the Youth Bureau. We can't do things without you, so we appreciate that. We're in full swing for all of our school programming. The end of October, we just finished up our health and wellness days, so we had close to 200 kids come through the Youth Bureau for Health and Wellness, and it is an abstinence-based sexual education program for 8th graders. And we also have 24 Lancaster High School students who volunteer their time to help out with the program. So they are sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and so they come and hang out with the kids, and somehow the adult facilitators became old, so it's nice having the younger kids there. They feel a little bit better about it. We also are doing our Mentor and Me program, and as of right now, we have 78 kids in the program. I have 4 interns. There's 2 from UV, 2 from Damon, who meet with the students every week. Some of them are there's like 3 or 4 kids in a group, so they're actually getting some group work as well, which is great. Kids are in the program for various reasons. They're considered to be at risk. It's just really kind of low-level counseling, but it's for kids who just maybe have a hard time keeping friends, just kind of helping with socialization and friendship skills. Our teen volunteer program is going full force because of all of the National Honor Society hours that are needed. So we have about 250 teen volunteers in the program. The kids go to St. Vincent de Paul. They're packing food at Trinity Food Pantry. They're packing food at Feedmore. They go to Terrace View and play games and do things with the residents at Terrace View, which is right next to ECMC. There's so many other activities. I'm sorry, I have a cough drop. I didn't know it was going to go up soon, but I have the same thing as you.
I was actually looking for Mindy, so you didn't have it.
So the Youth Court and Community Sanctions Program, we probably have about 30 kids that have gone through the program, and the referrals are usually sent by the police department or by the school district. So they come through and they get sentenced by their peers who are trained kids who go through the community service program, the training program, and they're given so many hours of community service or counseling with our youth counselor, Jennifer. We have our Level Up Days coming up in January. Last year, we ended up with 478 kids that came through. They're fifth graders from William Street. They learn how to be caring, healthy, and responsible members of our community. So they rotate through different workshops, learning about peer pressure, risky behaviors, and things like that. We do a whole workshop on vaping with them, just to kind of make them aware of some of the dangers of vaping and things like that. Let's see, what else? We had a great summer. We had about 547 kids participate in our summer programs. That went by incredibly fast. It was 5 weeks that just flew by. We're starting a GED program at the Youth Bureau. I brought flyers with me too, and Diane, you had posted it as well, but if you know anybody who is in need of a GED, it's a free program that's going to be starting at the Youth Bureau. So I have some flyers if anybody needs any. And just some important dates that are coming up, our Thanksgiving distribution, which is on November 21st. And right now, I think we have close to 60 families that are signed up for that as of this time. And then our Day of Giving, which is December 17th. Both of the programs, it's just amazing to see how this community comes together. That is the fascinating part of it, is there's not many communities like Lancaster that has all of these intricate pieces that all come together to service one common goal, which is amazing.
Nicole, what can we
yeah.
do for you, especially with Thanksgiving coming up? Is there anything that the board or that you can put out to the public here at the dais that maybe we can do to help you for the Thanksgiving?
So all of our food donations really come from Trinity Food Pantry. Trinity Food Pantry is amazing. I'm on the board, so it's just seeing how wonderful everybody is on the pantry board. But the schools are also donating stuff too. If you want to come and help sort food, if you want to come and help pack bags, like that's amazing. So we're also doing a coat drive too. That's going to be that same week. So the 19th and 20th are days that we're going to be preparing for it. From 3 to 5 both days, and then the distribution is going to be on the 21st, and that's all day from 10 to 4. We'll be
I'll
giving
get a
out
hold
stuff.
of you for the coat director, because I have overstock at my
okay.
company that I can donate coats.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, that's great. That's great. But just to kind of talk a little bit about where the donations do come from, like I said, Trinity Food Pantry, Lancaster, Depew, and St. Mary's schools all donate food and gifts for our Day of Giving. And the Lancaster Police Department is amazing. They do so much to help us out for that program as well. So,
Thank you very much. How about the Day of Giving? Do you need
Yeah.
presents? What do you need for that one?
whatever anybody would like to donate. That is,
We'll team up.
it's a day. For those of you who have been, part of the Day of Giving, it is an amazing day. It is the best day to be a part of the Youth Bureau, for sure. for the town of Lancaster. So if any of you get a chance to come by and hang out, it really is an amazing day.
Thank you
Great.
for all you
Thank you very much.
Questions at all?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief?
So before I go on about the police department budget, let me give the monthly dog control report for Officer Greco. For the month of October, they had 34 complaints or calls received and 32 compliance notices were issued. They issued 2 final notices, followed up on 56 expired licenses, 3 dog bite reports were filed with them, 1 dangerous dog complaint taken, 8 dogs were redeemed and 1 dog adopted. Currently, they still have 1 inmate in custody for the time being. They've been, obviously busy this past month. They continue to follow up with the delinquent licensing and whatever. So I think, there's been notations through Diane's office that this has been a very positive reflection on what they're doing over there, and we hope to increase that as the years come forward.
Great.
As far as the police department budget goes, I want to kind of reiterate what Matt said. The communication between board members, your office, dealing with Nick has been, second to none. It's been my 3rd budget that I've been able to help put together for the police department, barring contractual needs or, retirements. We probably would have come in very close to the 2025 budget. And we're not that far off, actually. So a couple significant things that we've done in 2025 that I want to take special note of because they're very important. They have to do with public safety and the EMS system. So this year, through the budget, we've incorporated, or we're in the process of incorporating the emergency medical dispatch system through Priority Dispatch. Our dispatchers will be able to safely, effectively, and properly dispatch fire or EMS services to calls, which will increase efficiency, but also increase public safety with the appropriate response that's going to be directed to each of those entities being moving forward. As part of that, the second portion that we've dove into as a requirement is we've contracted with UBMD and we've contracted with a medical director. It's part of the requirements of emergency medical dispatch is to have somebody that is a medical professional that can appropriately look over our documentation and make sure that the quality and assurance is kept up to the high standards that are required. There's requirements with how this is to work, so that professional is going to make sure that our dispatchers are doing it the way they are trained to do. And this is a trained professional in that area of expertise. We're just in the beginning phases. We're still in the procurement portion of getting that program. Everything's been signed off on. We're just invoicing is finishing up. Once that's done, we'll get the program installed. Training will take place, and we'll begin to make sure our dispatchers are utilizing it to the best possible abilities. A little bit further to note about the budget. The administration and the police department has worked really hard and very well with Nick Swanson, the director of finance, to make sure that the budget that was put forth by the police department, it's been appropriately completed, and that the funding needs for the department are going to be met. And in doing so, we wanted to also make sure that we're being fiscally responsible and we are keeping in mind the taxpayers that are paying for this. They have an interest in the services and expectation in the services that are going to be provided, but they also have an expectation that's going to be the cost is going to be kept down as much as possible, and really try to do that. We also actively continue to work with the board and the town in looking for different ways to seek grant funding to help underwrite some of the costs for some of the bigger items that we may look to get. We've worked with Councilmember Schroeder. We worked with Cindy from the town office to make sure that we can do what we can, whether it be staffing needs, equipment, something that may be a big ticket item, that might be a little bit of a hard pill to swallow for the taxpayers, but if we can get it through the federal funding system or the state funding system, it's a lot easier to, and we're going to continue to do that every year as we move forward, because it makes clear sense to help get what we need through that type of fund. Lastly, the administration is going to continue to work with the town leaders to appropriately utilize the budget as we seek to invest in our people. It's very important with policing changing year by year that the skills of our officers and our dispatchers and our clerical staff are up to the top specs that they need to be. So we're going to continue to look for the most appropriate training that we can send them to. Some of it does require some cost to it, but we are going to utilize our budget in the appropriate way and ask for the most appropriate funds necessary to keep things simple, but also to help keep things moving forward the direction that policing is moving today. That's what I have.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chief.
Thank you. John Pilato? Evening.
Resolution 14, are we pulling that, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. Over the past few weeks, Highway Department has continued cleaning up heavy amounts of brush and leaves throughout the town. We're sending 2 grapplers, 3 leafers out daily. We are wrapping up hanging wings and salters on our trucks. We should be done and ready to roll, hopefully by next week with all that. Last week, with the nice weather, we were able to do a mill and a repave at the end of Glendale and right near Broadway. There was a lot of complaints down there, a lot of potholes. Residents were very pleased with the results. As far as the budget goes, I'd really like to throw a shout out to Nick, Councilman Burkhart, and Studley. They more than happy to meet in our office. Nick was there to answer every single question, explained everything to us. It was a very easy process. I think everybody here knows I'm pretty lucky because I have probably the best budget officer in Western New York, and Michelle Barbaro, and she makes things go pretty quickly for us. So shout out to her too. As far as this year's budget was concerned, we obviously wanted to direct the funds in the most appropriate manner for the department and the residents. We did a lot of work this year, probably as much as we've ever done in this department. Some of the big jobs that we took on this year was a cold-in place recycling for Lake Avenue and Fortin Drive. It was the first time our town has ever used that method of recycling the existing blacktop and the underbase. I think the results on the road really speak for itself. We think it came out excellent. The feedback from the residents on both roads was very impressive. We also incorporated crack filling into the portfolio this year. We've never done that before this year. That process is to extend the life of the road. We can distinguish a road that has some need for crack filling. We're hoping we can kick that out 5 to 7 years just by doing that process. Some of the other roads that we did this year were Seneca, Peppermint, Maple, Sagebrush, Enchanted Forest South, Meadowlead, Belmont, Old Genesee, Creekwood. We literally exhausted the paving line this year, and I'm thankful to the board for allowing us to do so. We also hopped in and paved Westwood Park, hauled stone for the new turf field at Walden Ponds, paved the back half of the library, set up contracts and contractors for the Heritage Trail and Westwood Bike Pass to be resurfaced. We worked well with a ton of different departments this year. One other thing I'd like to note, last year was a debacle with the salt. We were able to forecast the rise in salt was coming this year after the debacle last winter, and we took 100% of the salt, and it saved the town about $42,000. So collectively, I think me, Michelle, our department are pretty much on top of things, and I'm very pleased with the way this year went, and just hoping for another good year next year.
Just a question for you. You've been around for a long time. The amount of pavement that you paved this year, have we ever done that before?
No, not even close. Not even close. We put the bonds out for Lake and Fortin, that helped. I mean, we really exhausted everything, and with the padded budget, I think we got another 25,000 in '25. Those funds really go a long way. That extra 25 allowed us to do the crack filling on 3 streets. The way I look at it, those streets aren't going to have to be touched for another 5 to 7 years. It extends the life out just that little 25 grand. So, you know, we felt out the process this year. We liked it. We're probably going to add to it next year, and you know, hopefully we can keep everyone happy.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mary Beth?
Hello.
Good evening.
Seniors had a very busy year. We added some programming on top of all our normal scheduling. We added computer classes, a Walk with Ease program. We added fantasy football and March Madness leagues, University Express classes. We did about 40 of them this year. We added trivia where we battle the other senior centers, which is a lot of fun for our seniors. We did monthly events. Big success this year was adding events to the rec department's concert series. Those were huge successes, so we probably will do them for every concert this coming season. We had good success with overnight trips. We did 4 this year. We have 7 scheduled for 2026. We did 13 day trips, which were a big success. Our kitchen has been super busy. We average 250 meals a week. That's the congregate dining, hot meals. We distribute an average of 100 boxes of frozen every week, which equals about 500 meals per week. Construction-wise, we had the $150,000 CDBG, which we did the electric panel partition wall, which will allow us to do more programming. We have the community project funding grant, which we did the flooring, the roofing, the siding, the skylights, which is just about done. It looks fantastic. I hope everybody can come and see it. Our crews, our own crews, painted, installed ceiling tiles. They did a fabulous job and saved a lot of money doing the work themselves. And budget planning for 2026 went very smoothly. Nick is wonderful to work with. This board has been wonderful to work with, and that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, we're going to show some pictures of the work that was done there during the regular meeting time, so everybody will get a chance to see it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Carmen?
I'll keep it short because you guys have 7 o'clock is coming
Well,
around.
what we're going to do is, we're going to continue on until we're finished with the work session. We'll sign in at 7 o'clock and go from there, so take your time, whatever you got. Oh.
We still take our time. I'd like to thank Nick. Nick helped our department out greatly this year with the budget, being it's my first budget. Helped me figure everything out, got everything right on, so thank him, the board. 2025, our light project, we got the lights paid for, the LED lights. Nick filed all the paperwork, so we'll be getting, I think, over $75,000 back for what we paid for the lighting.
So what did we get done? All the buildings?
Basically, we got every building, we still got more lights left, but we did get every building basically is going to be LED.
Okay.
And that was all paid for, and then on top of that, we applied for all the rebates. So I think we have another $36,000 coming back in rebates from NYSEG. So that's finishing up. The library, Highway helped us, they did the back part of it for us. We got the blacktop in there, so that'll make it a lot easier. We're going to be revamping the one room in there where they have their meetings. That's probably hasn't been done since the building was built. Kiza, we got some new tables. We got the salt cells done this year. I know we're working on the grants for the pools. Dawn was helping us on that. Meadow Leap Park, we didn't do much to the park this year. I know Melissa's been going there a lot in the summer to the wading pool, and being that we haven't used the diamond, she came up with some ideas. So watching that park, there's a lot of walkers, so she's trying to figure some things out that she'd like to do there from going there. We're thinking about pickleball, maybe permanent cornhole, the concrete ones where you can't steal them because they weigh about 1,000 pounds. Westwood Park, the new playground, as everyone knows, we're going to be probably adding to the top, the big slide, a nice staircase, because a lot of the kids are having trouble getting up the one that's there. So we're going to make it a little bit easier for some kids. The building, we added the air conditioning this year, so we're going to probably be able to raise the rent. We're in the process of getting the garage floor done and the pavilion resealed inside. Walden Ponds, obviously the turf, we had a zillion people there. I mean, you guys were all there. Last weekend, we had the same amount. Lancaster won all 4 games, so they're over there. Senior Center, like Mary Beth said, our crews were in there painting. We changed the ceiling tile out. A lot of work over there.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you at this point. We're going to begin the 7 o'clock meeting. You can finish up, and then we'll go to a couple more people.
Okay.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board meeting for 11/3/2025. Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Burkhart. Here. Councilmember Dickman.
Here.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
Councilmember Studley. Here. Supervisor Leary.
Here. Please stand. Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance and invocation will be led by Dawn Schroeder.
Pledge allegiance.
Please remain standing.
As we gather for this meeting during election season, may we come together in the midst of challenges where differences can sometimes divide us. We ask for the strength to see beyond labels and instead recognize the inherent dignity and worth of every person. Grant us a spirit of kindness and patience in our interactions. May our dialogue be constructive and our actions guided by a genuine concern for one another and our shared future. We pray for a peaceful process and for leaders who will govern with integrity and keep the spirit of community in their hearts.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, this evening we'll have 2 public hearings coming up. We have 20 pre-filed resolutions. We do not have any executive sessions. We close the memory of Ann Detzler, Justice in the Village of Lancaster for 18 years, and Dr. Dominic Samato, who also passed. The public hearings that we're going to do is the 2026 Special Districts budget and the 2026 preliminary budget. At this point in time, I'm going to finish up the work session since we didn't have enough time to do it previously. Carmen, do you got anything else for us?
Yeah, a couple more things.
Okay.
I just want to let everyone know we started our fall planting today. Our trees were delivered. We're going to be updating our tree keeper so we can get more grants. We cleaned up 525 Pavement Road. Just asking your support for the mechanic position for Noah. The chief and I interviewed him. Great candidate. I think he'll do awesome. The inspection machine that we called New York State, that's their quote. That's 21 days out, but we already have the facility number. Auction, we have bleachers that are probably older than us that we're auctioning, and we have a trailer, so we just want to get them out of there. And the other thing is there's streetlights. We are getting a lot of streetlights that are out. It's costing us a lot of money. I talked to a gentleman, Tim Schaefer. He used to work in NYSEG. When NYSEG owned them, he used to do the town of Lancaster lights. He is interested if we want hire a part-time electrician as him to do our streetlights. Might save the town a lot of money. Something for you to think about. But he used to do it before the town took over the street lighting. And he did it when he worked for NYSEG. He just retired, and we got a bucket truck, so basically we'd just be putting him on payroll. I don't know, you know Tim?
Schiffler.
Yeah, Schiffler. He's a Lancaster person, so that's something to think about, because, I mean, it's every day I'm getting 2 to 3 calls on street lights. I just drove down Cemetery Road. I got 3 out on Cemetery by Erie Street, and then when I turn on the Broadway, I have another 3 out. And each time they come out, it's a couple $100 each street light, and it's probably killing the budget.
I agree. We looked into this when we were on the board before, when we took over the streetlights from NYSEG. that at the time our electrician retired from the highway department, and financially, the numbers did come out that it was cheaper to have somebody in-house.
Yeah, and he'd be on a part-time basis, so
They
it's
were
not like we
supposed
had...
to last at least 10 years per light, remember that too.
Right, yeah.
Well, they're
And
not-
then with Green
not
Light,
making that.
They're not making it.
Green Light's killing us. I mean, left and right, I'm getting the reports from them. Obviously, we're submitting them to Green Light, but they're just killing us with cutting going with their underground, going under there and hitting our wires, and then we're digging them up and having to splice them together and everything. So, but it's something to think about if you guys are interested. I'll talk to Tim, see if he's, still interested in the position, or we'll post it or whatever, but I know he's got the experience of doing all our streetlights beforehand.
We'll get with Nick and we'll run the numbers in comparison so we can bring the data to the board.
Yeah, and then obviously you guys would just figure out what you guys want to pay them
Sure.
hourly or whatever. All right.
Great. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Volunteer. Thank you. Ron Rosler?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, start with LVAC. We ran their numbers for September. They did meet all their benchmark numbers. I'm just now going through October's numbers, and probably be done tomorrow. Then I'll meet with them to review that. We did have a kind of a meet and greet and a tour of the Gunville Road landfill facility and some of the issues and problems that they're having up there. So I was able to walk part of the property with the DEC, see what some of the issues are, and I met today with the supervisor and with Matt to go over what I found, and I'm going to meet probably sometime tomorrow with Ed just to go over that and review that so we know what the issues are up there.
Would it be fair to tell people to stay off of that property? They shouldn't be on there anyways at this point in time?
It's private property, so they shouldn't be on the landfill property. There is a walking trail that's part of the Tillman Road Wildlife area that goes right along the property. One of the issues is the fence is damaged, needs to be repaired, so people may or do have the ability to cross over that fence onto the landfill property. But yeah, they need to stay off of that. It's private property and be, considered trespassing if they were on it.
And also potentially some leaching going on there and some
There are,
water retention that shouldn't be there?
Yes, there is a couple areas of leaching. They took some water samples while we were out there. It's going to be a couple months before we get any of those reports back. There's more areas of leaching than what they tested, but there's a number of issues on that site. You have 3 different state agencies involved that I won't get into if they talk to each other or not, but you have the DEC who's working on the site itself. You have wetland issues that are on that site, and now they discovered there's a protected bird on that site. So there's only certain things they can do at certain times of the year because of that. So it's going to be an ongoing issue for several years to get it up to speed and, hopefully answer all the town's questions about what we have up there. The budget process, in the grand scheme of things, I'm a one-man department and relatively small budget, but it has been really nice to work with the board, to work with Nick, and kind of look over some historical expenditures and some different line items, and then be able to move money around from there, or be able to eliminate some money and say, I don't need that much in a certain budget line. And again, that's from quick meetings where you can call Nick and come in and have a quick meeting, and he'll have the historical data. So that has helped quite a bit. I can't speak enough about the police department's move to emergency medical dispatching and the medical director. It's a huge benefit to our residents. It's a huge benefit to our ambulance and EMS people. And, kudos to the police department for really moving forward on the project. I had something else, but I forgot. So if I think about it, I'll email everybody. Any questions? No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Nick Swanson?
Good evening. I'd just like to thank all the department heads. It's been seamless process, second year going at it. I think we built upon last year. The 2026 budget is even better than the 2025 budget, which was better than the 24 budget. We anticipate that the 27 budget will be even better. That's all we can do is just continuously improve and do better for our residents, for our taxpayers. That's all I really have. I'll be here to answer any questions that you might have.
Great.
Thank
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. We're going to jump right into our public hearings because it's past 7:05, so we can do that. So can I have a motion to go into public hearing number 1?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster, New York has completed its estimates and assessment role relating to special districts spreading cost on benefit basis and has filed same with the Town Clerk for the following districts for the year 2026: the Consolidated Water District, Consolidated Lighting District Number 1, Fire Protection District, Refuse and Garbage District. Further notice is given that a public hearing on such estimates and assessment roll will be held today, November 3rd, 2025, at Lancaster Town Hall, which we're at, and which the Town Board will meet to hear and consider any persons interested in addressing the subject matter thereof. So, do we have anybody who wants to be heard on the special district's budget? Please raise your hand, be recognized by the supervisor, give your name and address to the town clerk, speak directly to the town board members, and we'll go from there. Does anybody want to be heard on this one? Mr. Rosler?
Yeah, I just want to speak on the fire protection contracts and that budget. Go a little history. About 16 years ago, when the state first passed that 2% limit on raising taxes, the fire departments came forward and said, look, we understand this is a huge unknown. We understand the town's not sure how they're going to handle this. And for several years, the fire departments took either zeros or 0.5% increases in our contracts, 1% increases. And then, as everybody knows, over that time frame, the cost of everything has gone up astronomically. I know we just had the fire inspection with the town board. You heard from all of the departments about the issues with not only ordering and getting trucks, but how that cost is just skyrocketed, beyond belief. Most companies now are waiting up to 3 years to get delivery of any type of new apparatus. And what went from $600,000 truck, $650,000 truck is now like $1.2 million. It's gotten so bad that they're even having congressional hearings with the fire department manufacturers about what the issue is and about the money that they're bringing in and what's taken so long. So from doing this for quite a while, it was great to see all the different board members talking with all the different fire companies. They're sticking around afterwards, socializing. It was really nice. It was fun to see. Over the last 2 years, the budgets that the town board has put forth to the fire departments, we're grateful for those. This year better than last year, and we're just here to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to be heard on the special district budget? Okay, seeing no hands up, I'll ask for a motion to close public hearing number 1.
Motion closed.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. Can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 2?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
And on the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. Notice is hereby given that the preliminary budget of the town of Lancaster for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2026 has been filed in the office of the town clerk at 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, where it is available for inspection by any interested persons during office hours. Further notice is given that a public hearing on the preliminary budget of the town of Lancaster for the year 2026 be held by the town board at the Lancaster Town Hall here on the 3rd day of November, today, and at such time, hearing any persons may be heard in favor of or against the preliminary budget, has complied or for or against any items therein contained. Pursuant to Section 108 of the town law, the proposed annual salaries of the following town officers are specified as follows. Supervisors, $76,559. Budget officers, 0. Total $76,559. That has not changed in the last couple of years. Council members, $22,218. Town clerk, $86,248 as town clerk. Records management officer, $7,143. Registrar of Vital Statistics, $3,152. Clerk to Zoning Board of Appeals, $3,762. Total, $100,305. Superintendent of Highways, $84,603. Is Forestry Supervisor, part-time, $3,925. Its Town Drainage Officer, part-time, $6,135, for a total of $94,663. At this point in time, I will ask for anyone who wants to be heard on the general budget to, again, raise your hand, be recognized by yours truly, give your name and address to the town clerk, and you'll be speaking to the town board members, and if we would, we'll go from there. Does anybody want to be heard on the general budget at this point? Okay. Seeing, yes, sir.
Hi, Tom Sweeney, 22 Ashwood Court. A question, I assume the Boys and Girls Club falls under the general budget, the general line item there. And the question I have is...
Preliminary budget, yeah.
Preliminary budget, yep. Has anyone from the Boys and Girls Club reached out either verbally or in writing to increase the $150,000 proposed budget of the Boys and Girls Club?
No, as the Chief Financial Officer for the town of Lancaster, I've gotten nothing.
So
Nick, have you seen anything? No.
So nothing verbally or in writing? None of the council members have been engaged in conversation?
And verbally, you haven't. Missy and I have talked to them. And
Okay.
we have discussed.
So have there been recommendations made to go up to, recommending up to $245,000 funding as it was previously 2 years ago? Has that been discussed with the Boys and Girls Club verbally, it sounds like?
Not me. I have not gotten anything. And as the Chief Financial Officer, any changes to anything in the budget should be coming to me in writing if they have a request for something like that.
Okay, but the council members individually, I asked if they've been contacted verbally by the Boys and Girls Club to increase the funding to $245,000. What I'm hearing is, by absence of comments, that no, that has not been requested or discussed with them.
Even if it was, that's between the Boys and Girls Club and our committee.
So it's not a matter of public record that we shouldn't disclose that to our community?
Anything coming in on that should be directed right to me as the Chief Financial Officer. So if they have a request like that, they can make out a letter and address it to me with some justification.
And is there time for them to still to do that?
Yeah, there's always time for them to do that.
Before the final passage of the budget?
Absolutely.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to be heard on the preliminary budget at this point in time? I don't see any other hands. However, I do want to show where some of the money went to, as Mary Beth talked about previously. So bear with me. Okay, we're going to come down here. Okay. I don't know how many people had the opportunity to go out to the Walden Pond Sports Complex, but it's quite the facility. And again, we want to show people where their tax dollars are being utilized. So I'm going to go through a couple of slides here. It officially opened last Saturday, October 25th, 2025. And if you look at, this is the old field. This is what we had this time of the year. This was in the summertime, I believe, when we did the press conference. But that would be all mud right now, and it'd be completely unplayable at this point. Okay? Again, another picture of that. And here's some of the work being done on the project itself. And as we come up here nearing completion, took kind of shape there. You can kind of see how that fits into where the old facility was. Okay, and here you have opening day. We had hundreds of kids there. We had 5 football games during the daytime. Basically, the Little League teams, it was the playoffs, asked us if they could hold it there, because I don't believe there's any other facility like this in all of Western New York for Little League teams, okay? Another shot of it. You can see the stands over there to the right. We'll talk about that in a second. But this gives you a good idea of what it consists of. We have softball fields at each end, each corner. We have a small, what I call a U8 field, but it's a small soccer field. I coached U8 years ago. And then the main field is we have football, we have soccer, and lacrosse, which will all be featured at there. Okay, oops, let's go back one for a second. Okay. As you can see around here, there's a concrete sidewalk that was put around here. We had it widened, and for people who aren't participating in the sports or when there's nothing going on, it's a great place for people to walk around the facility itself. We'll do a mileage check on there, and we'll put up some, some signs to show you exactly how far you're walking around the facility. That'd be kind of neat, so everybody can utilize it. This was just another view from the press conference that was held at the morning of the 25th. And here's the overall picture. So what we're doing, what we're thinking of doing right now, and we'll get permission from the board before we do anything, is, but you can see where the bleachers are down there. Okay, they were never moved up too close to the concrete, and they're not sufficient at this point in time. We should still have enough money left in the budget for the bonding that we took out, plus maybe a couple of grand from the filing fees to put bleachers in there that'll hold approximately 503 people, including ADA requirements. We will have ramps going up both sides, and we will also have some special seats in there for ADA needs. But again, as you can see right now, there's games going on in there. We actually had 4 more games this past Saturday, and then St. Mary's used it one time for soccer, so we've had 10 games being played on that facility in just a 9-day period. So it's you build it, they will come. Okay. Now, what we're planning for Westwood Park, the company that built Walden Pond for us, A-Turf, they also built a facility in central New York for a high school, and this is that field. Unfortunately for the high school, the people who did the drainage work on that high school, it wasn't done correctly, all right? So there's some flooding that occurred here, and so the high school said, well, other than the end zones, which aren't there, they're keeping their end zones, said, we don't want it, okay? In talking with A-Turf, they have offered that to us, to the town of Lancaster. Looking at Westwood Park, the field at again, this is the field that they built. Looking at Westwood Park, where the soccer field is right there, that's been around for more than 20 years. It's going to be needed to be replaced. So basically, this field here is stored right now at Westwood Park. Our hope next year, with the permission of the board and the appropriate monies to do it, is to replace what's at Westwood Park with an additional field right here. And obviously, we don't have to pay for the field. We got that for free. So we'd be paying for the installation, a couple of end zones, and maybe some additional green on either side to fill up that area. So we're going to be, again, the only town with 2 good turf fields. The plan of attack is, hopefully, anytime anybody wants to have, certain games coming in there, tournaments coming in there, we will hopefully be the place to go for all of Western New York. I can tell you right now, people from Orchard Park, they don't have it. I was talking to them for a while when they're in there playing this Saturday. What that's going to be good for is not just all the kids are going to have the opportunity to play on these fields, the tens of thousands over the next 20 years, but it should be good for business in the town of Lancaster. We want these people to come to our restaurants, to come to our gas stations, our retail stores, make their way down here to West Main Street. We'll try to make sure if advertisers want to advertise, so we can combine that and get the people to see the town of Lancaster. So that's the hope with that. Again, these are great facilities. Okay. All right, and then let's talk about again, anybody who didn't know, we did put in a new playground at Westwood Park. Here's a picture of some people hanging out there, some big kids. Didn't have a lot of pictures for that one, but that's new at Westwood Park. Town of Lancaster Senior Center construction updates. Does everybody remember, who's ever been to the senior center, that old wood, I don't even know if it was particle board or what it was that hung on the sides?
It was lath siding.
It was what?
Lath.
Lath? Thank you.
Technically.
Yeah, it looked like heck, all right? So we were lucky to come up with several different grants, including grants from the federal government. We thank Nick Langworthy's office. They didn't get us the grant, but walking through the minefield that is the federal government to try to get the monies that were already appropriated for us took quite a bit of doing to get it in place. But here is our new senior center, new siding on there, new roof on there, all this new landscaping. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a brand new building. So again, this is what your money is going to. This is inside of the senior center. There's new flooring in the senior center. The old flooring was starting to chip up. Mary Beth, correct me if I'm wrong, but we can't have seniors falling down, with all these chips and everything. We want to make it as comfortable for them as we possibly can. Okay, this is the general meeting area there. That green door there is going to be replaced by an electronic door. Right now, you got to get some people in there to push that thing over. Not exactly the best thing you want for a couple of 70-year-olds to be doing. So again, approaching that age, I can talk that way. So that'll be an electronic door, and we'll be able to take care of that. Okay, some other monies that were spent, and these are pictures from the Lancaster Highway Department. Here's two new plows for us. The other equipment will be coming with those. That's where some of your monies were spent in the budget. And we try to, keep everything down as low as we possibly can. But plowing, we got to do it. So they got both these trucks in here. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, but what are these trucks again?
Those are tandems.
Okay.
Tandems, we're missing the box, we're waiting for all the components to come in. As everyone has spoken about, it's like pulling teeth to get the trucks set, so we're hoping they're going to come in 26.
And one last picture here of a new truck also.
We got two of them with two new plow setups for the crew chief.
Okay.
We just don't have the plows on them.
Yeah, and again, I'm not just bragging here, but you talk to anybody from all the different towns, when you come to the town of Lancaster, the roads are plowed the best of anywhere in the area. I mean, it's not just me, I hear that from everybody else, so they do a great job. We wanted to make sure everybody saw where their money was being spent there. Thank you. At this moment in time, can I have a motion to close the second public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. All right, at this point in time, we're going to move back, and we're going to go to our pre-filed resolutions, and we're going to allow anyone who wants to comment on any of the pre-filed resolutions to do so. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any pre-filed or proposed suspended resolutions for a total period of 30 minutes. Procedure, please raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Any unruly activity, including yelling or name-calling, will result in expulsion from the meeting. At this point in time, do we have anybody in the audience who wants to speak on the pre-filed resolutions? Please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Greg Soika, 19 Spruceland Terrace. Supervisor Leary, I'd like to talk about number 7, the Siebert Road drainage swale. A lot of rumors and innuendo is going around the town, and I just want to clarify a few things. The town of Lancaster had all their paperwork turned in for this project, and the delay was because of the New York State DEC because of the change in floodplain and water laws. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we have to follow the rules and environmental laws because that's what we want to do, the right thing. And the bid that was just awarded, or I believe it's being awarded today, isn't it going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars based upon the previous estimate?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else want to be heard on any of the pre-filed resolutions? Raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Hi, Tom Sweeney, 22 Ashwood Court in Lancaster. Regarding resolution number 7, a couple of questions. I've been out talking to a lot of folks in the Siebert Culvert community.
Sure.
And I'd love to be able to communicate certain things with them, and I don't know the history around that. When you think of a culvert itself, and this might be a question for Ed, how long is the lifespan typically good of a culvert once it's installed? Do we have any type of...
It depends what type it is. If it's concrete, you can probably get 40 years.
40 or 50 years,
If it's
yeah.
metal, not so much.
Exactly.
This one, if I recall, was kind of a hybrid. They had like some railroad ties across the top of it for the top under the pavement. That's what rotted through, so.
Okay. That community is, I think that community is probably 25-ish years old, 25, 30 years old within that area, I would think. Or when do we think that culvert was originally put in?
Oh, I have no idea.
Do we have any research on that whatsoever? No? So I'm trying to figure out the path of accountability within that. There are a lot of people obviously very upset with that. They're, concerned about, the time for first responders, how they have to get in there since that road was closed. There's a lot of serious concerns within the community. And I'm curious if any accountability has been researched on whoever put that culvert in what period of time. I know my development right across the street started in about 2001, 2002, which is about 20-something years old. If there's an expectation, the culvert should have lasted, let's say, for 40 or 50 years. I'm curious how much research we did and if we tried to hold anybody accountable for whatever that fracture or situation was. It seemed odd. It seemed like we got caught off guard, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, the hole was a surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
But
So it disintegrated or cracked, or it was damaged in some way, either damaged or deteriorated in some way, but we haven't researched the records to find out if there's an accountability process for whoever installed that. It seems like it would be less than 40 years to me.
I doubt it, to be honest with you, based on what was used to build it. It's probably 30 or 40 years old.
So it could be 40 years old.
I think it's at least 30 years old, just
Is it?
from
Yep.
living in that area at one point in time.
Okay.
And that's been, I think, at least.
So it could have been at its end of life,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know for certain. I rely on Ed for those questions,
Yeah,
but.
and when you think about it, we own, obviously, this community owns a lot of culverts throughout our community. Is there an active process to evaluate culverts and schedule and budget for the replacement of those culverts when they get to the end of life?
To be honest with you, this is probably one of the last ones to be done. Over the last 7 or 8 years, most of them have been replaced.
Have been replaced, okay, yeah, so this is the last one. So we would have had, in theory, we would have had budgeted money to be able to replace this culvert if it's in.
A lot of it was with grant money and then some with bond money.
Yeah, it's ideal. Obviously, grant money, as we can see in the presentation before, grant money can do a lot of great things for our community.
Sure.
Obviously, all money is taxpayer money, right? But we can draw that grant money into our community, similar to the Village of Lancaster and others. I mean, that grant money can be put to great use. I agree. I'm just curious on the timing from a culvert perspective, if we already had that money in the budget and it was allocated, but yet we waited for the grant money to get that replaced. So just commentary on that in general. So.
Sure. I mean, we're always trying to save the taxpayers' money.
Certainly.
Nobody anticipated it would take this long, and I think Ed explained during our working session exactly why it took this long.
Yeah.
As far as the town, I mean, we never expected it to take that long. The change in the law, the DEC, so now we're getting it done and coming in at a very reasonable cost at this point.
Yeah.
Like you said, taxpayers everywhere, but it's cheaper this time.
We're all
So,
concerned,
yeah.
for sure. But then again, all money is taxpayer money, right?
Right.
Whether it comes from a grant or whether it comes from our local community. Obviously, we want to benefit our local community as much as we can. So.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else want to be heard on any of the pre-filed resolutions? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no other hands raised at this point in time, we're going to move on to our pre-filed resolutions. Number 1 is mine. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held October 20th, 2025 be and are hereby affirmed. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 2. Be it resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered paid from their respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office to wit, check run number 1103-2025, total amount hereby authorized to be paid, $738,152.60. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 3, 4, and 5, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Honorable Board, I offer resolutions 3 through 5 for adoption. Number 3, resolve that the following building permit applications be and are hereby reaffirmed. We have 49 in the town, 20 in the village, for a total of 69. Now therefore be it resolved that the building permit applications coded CSW for a conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster, any future date, reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Number 4, whereas it is essential to public safety that the town of Lancaster continue its participation in the coordinated effort to reduce alcohol-related traffic injuries and fatalities, and whereas the Erie County has tendered an application to the town of Lancaster for participation in said coordinated effort retroactive for the 2024 and 2025 calendar years. Now therefore, be it resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute on behalf of the town of Lancaster the police and court contract 2024 through 2025 stop DWI agreement with the County of Erie for participation and funding of alcohol-related traffic safety law enforcement activities under the 2024 through 2025 stop DWI grant program. Be it further resolved that the Chief of Police, William Gummo, is authorized to execute the 2024-2025 Erie County Stop DWI Appendix A of the Police and Court Contract 2024 through 2025 Stop DWI Agreement.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Resolution number 5, whereas Greg Johnson submitted an application on behalf of Uniline Development for a special use permit for AAA Auto Glass located at 4106 Walden Avenue, Lancaster, New York, whereas Chapter 400, Article 14, Administration and Enforcement Special Use Permits of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires that the town board conduct a public hearing before the issuance of a special use permit for a use as proposed. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Section 478 of the zoning code of the town of Lancaster, public hearing on the proposed special use permit for AAA Auto Glass located at 4106 Walden Avenue will be held at Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on the 17th day of November 2025 at 7:05 p.m. local time, and that notice of said time and place of such hearing be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in said town and be posted in the town bulletin board, and that a copy of such notice of hearing be referred to the Erie County Department of Planning pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law, which notice shall be attached hereto and made a part hereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 6, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, and on the board, I'm offering Resolution 6 for adoption. Whereas the Twin District Volunteer Fire Company, by letter received October 23rd, 2025, has requested the deletion of one member from the active roster of said fire association. Now therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby deletes from the membership of the Twin District Volunteer Fire Company the following individual: Michael McCombs.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 7, whereas the Town Board of Lancaster has previously duly advertised a request for bids for the State Aid Bridge Culvert Project, Siebert Road, over drainage swale, and whereas 9 bids were received, opened, and reviewed on October 9th at 10 a.m., and whereas Ed Schiller, the town consulting engineer, by letter dated October 27th, 2025, has recommended awarding the bid to L.J. Quigliano II Incorporated, located at 2395 Lockport Road, Sanborn, New York, a registered contractor with the New York State Department of Labor Public Work Contractor and Subcontractor Registry, being the lowest bid in the amount of $359,197.52. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby awards the bid for the State Aid Bridge Culvert Project at Siebert Road to L.J. Quigliano II Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $359,197.52, being the lowest bid in conformance with the specification on file in the office of William Shutt and Associates. Be it further resolved, the expense for the Siebert Road over drainage swale will be paid from Capital Project 90229-400. Be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute the contract upon receipt and approval of the required documents and insurance certificates by the town attorney's office. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who got the second? Okay. On the question? Okay, and again, we want this to be done as quickly as possible, and we will try to make sure that that happens. Correct, Ed?
Yep, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 8, whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent of the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated October 27, 2025, has appointed Mason Vale to the open position of laborer grade number 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department pursuant to New York State Highway Law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby recognizes the appointment of Mason Vale of Lancaster, New York, to the position of laborer grade number 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department, effective November 12, 2025, contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to all applicable provisions of the collective negotiation agreement between the Town of Lancaster and the CSEA Blue Collar Union, all applicable provision of law. Be it further resolved that Mason Vale of Lancaster, New York, be and is hereby appointed to the full-time position of laborer grade number 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department at an hourly salary of $26.71 on step for a 6-month probationary period, which represents 80% of the full salary of $33.39 per hour. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Is Mason with us tonight? Mason, please stand up. Congratulations. We want to welcome you to the Town of Lancaster. You're working for a great boss there, and good luck in your job in the future.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Turns 21 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I hit 21 like 10 years ago.
Enjoy your 42-year career.
Thank you. Resolution number 9, Councilmember Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 9, whereas by letter dated October 27, 2025, Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Lancaster Building and Grounds Department, has advised the Town Board that the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department no longer has use for the following equipment, and has requested that the Town Board therefore deem the items to be surplus equipment and permit them to be placed in an online auction. And this equipment is described as 5 sets of bleachers aged 30-plus years and a 2007 felling trailer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby declares the above described equipment to be surplus and authorizes Carmen Ciccarelli to place said equipment to be placed up for public bid at an online auction with Auctions International, Big Tree Road, East Aurora, New York, beginning November 6, 2025, and concluding November 20th, 2025, with the funds received from said auction to be payable to the Town of Lancaster and delivered to the Town Supervisor's office.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 10, whereas by letter dated October 27, 2025, Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster, has recommended the appointment of Noah Burke of Lancaster, New York, to the open position of automotive mechanic in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. And whereas Noah Burke has completed a salary step procedure due to time served in his position as laborer for the Town of Lancaster Highway Department, now therefore be it resolved that Noah Burke be and is hereby appointed to the position of automotive mechanic in the Town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department, effective November 10th, 2025, and an hourly rate of $35.82, with a 6-month probationary period contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to all applicable provisions of the collective negotiations agreement between the Town of Lancaster and the CSEA White Collar Union, and all applicable provisions of law. Be it further resolved, this appointment is contingent upon successful completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the Supervisor's Office, New York State required certifications, new hire training programs, and completion of town policy acknowledgments And be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Is Noah with us tonight? Noah, stand up. Congratulations on moving over. Best of luck in your new position with the Park and Recs Department.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution number 11. Whereas by letter dated October 28, 2025, Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the position of part-time permanent in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for the fall-winter season of 2025-2026. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent positions in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department, working no more than 19.50 hours per week, and this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. We have recreation attendants for youth basketball. We have a night supervisor, George Besh, been around for a long time, and we have a couple of attendants for youth wrestling. The salary range is $15.50 per hour for the people on here, and the effective date is November 15th for most, and for youth wrestling, November 17th. Be it further resolved, this appointment is contingent upon completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the supervisor's office, New York State required certifications, new hire training programs, completion of town policy acknowledgments, and be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 12. Whereas Judge David S. Stabler, Town Justice for the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated September 25th, 2025, has recommended the appointment of James A. Honick of Lancaster, New York, to fill the open position of Court Officer Part-Time Permanent for the Town of Lancaster Justice Court, and whereas pursuant to new state civil service law, the position of Court Officer has been duly canvassed by the Town of Lancaster Justice Court. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individual is hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent position in the Town of Lancaster Justice Court, working no more than 19.5 hours per week, being contingent upon approval by the Erie County Department of Personnel, and that this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees. And Mr. Honick will be starting at an hourly rate of $23.17 per hour, effective date November 3rd. Be it further resolved, this appointment is contingent upon successful completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the supervisor's office, New York State required certifications, new hire training programs, completion of town policy acknowledgments. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Is James with us tonight? We don't usually have the part-timers. No? Yes? James here? No? Okay, thank you. Councilmember Dickman, number 13, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I offer Resolution 13. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant a renewal of a special use permit to Jose Castaneda, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, owner of Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, to operate a restaurant on the premise located at 4725 Transit Road upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning retroactive to October 22nd, 2025 and ending October 21st, 2027, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions set forth in General Commercial District, supplementary regulations for LC, GC, and MU districts, and the special use permit of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and do any additional conditions listed herein as long as the applicant continues to engage in the occupation listed above on the premise, namely, and there's 4 conditions.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 14 is being pulled. Resolution number 15 and 16, Councilmember Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 15. Whereas Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster Building and Grounds Department, has requested the purchase of one new and unused 2025 SCAG 61-inch stand-up cheetah mower and one new and unused 2025 SCAG 61-inch ride-on cheetah mower for use by the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. And whereas the above referenced mowers are available from Ken's Service and Sales, Clinton Street, Elma, New York, under contract with Sourcewell, a local government and procurement collaborative of the state of Minnesota, of which the town of Lancaster is a member and will be piggybacking off of, which will eliminate the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103-16 of General Municipal Law. And whereas the cost for the 2025 SCAG 61 stand-up cheetah mower is $13,376, and the cost for the 2025 SCAG 61-inch ride-on cheetah mower is $14,234, for a total expenditure of $27,610 per Ken's Service and Sales quote dated August 28, 2025, being paid for from Parks budget line item. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase from Ken's Service and Sales under contract with Sourcewell for the total amount not to exceed $27,610, which will be paid from budget line 01-7110-230.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
I also move resolution number 16, whereas by letter dated October 28, 2025, Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster Building and Grounds Department, has requested the purchase of one New York State inspection machine for use by the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department to perform New York State inspections on various town vehicles. And whereas the above referenced New York State inspection machine will be purchased from Opus Inspection, Niver Street, Cohoes, New York, sole source provider of the New York State inspection machine, and whereas the cost of the inspection machine is $6,124, being paid for with budget line other capital outlay. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of the New York State inspection machine contingent upon appropriate paperwork filed with New York State Department of Motor Vehicles from sole source provider Opus Inspection for a total amount not to exceed $6,124, which will be paid for from budget line other capital outlay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
That was close. Yeah, okay. On the question?
Tag.
On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, resolutions number 17 and 18, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I offer resolutions 17 and 18. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the Siska 3-lot minor subdivision preliminary plat plan submitted by Ann Siska, 227 Ransom Road, Lancaster, New York, prepared by Greenman Peterson Incorporated, dated February 11, 2025, with the following conditions. Waiver from Town Code, Chapter 310-12B1, sidewalks, and this waiver is granted upon the express condition effective that at any future date, the Town of Lancaster reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the sole expense of the property owner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
No.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
This is on Ransom Road, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing else. There's nothing else around it? Right, yeah. Yes.
Resolution 18, whereas the Town Board has previously duly advertised bids for the installation of heat, air conditioning, exterior graphics, emergency lighting, bench seating, storage, emergency litters for personal extraction, planning table for negotiators, and charging locations for electronics for the police department's Mercedes Sprinter van. And whereas one bid was received for heat and air conditioning of the Sprinter van, and whereas one bid was received for interior-exterior emergency lighting and communication equipment for the Sprinter van, and whereas Sean Domino, Detective Lieutenant for the Town of Lancaster Police Department, by email dated October 23rd, 2025, has accepted the bid from Colton RV of Buffalo, New York for the heat and air conditioning, being the only bidder in the amount of $21,976.41. And whereas Sean Domino, Detective Lieutenant for the Town of Lancaster Police Department, has accepted the bid from FM Communications of Tonawanda, New York for the interior-exterior emergency lighting and communication equipment, being the only bidder in the amount of $39,029. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby awards the bid to outfit the Mercedes Sprinter van to Colton RV and FM Communications for a total amount not to exceed $61,005.41 with the specification on file at the Lancaster Police Department. Be it further resolved that the expenditure will be paid from by budget line passenger vehicles, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute the contract upon the receipt and approval of the required documents and insurance certificates by the Town Attorney's Office.
Do we have a second? On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 19. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster has previously adopted an operating budget for the 2025 fiscal year, and whereas by email request on October 30th, 2025, Nick Swanson, Director of Administration and Finance, requested an increase to the 2025 adopted budget from funds received from auction revenue. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2025 adopted budget of the Town of Lancaster. It's an increase from the sale of equipment, $48,000 to reflect the receipt from that auction revenue, to passenger vehicles in the amount of $48,000 to allow for purchase of additional equipment using auction funds. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 20. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster approved the final plan submitted by Cocoon Development LLC on December 2nd, 2019, with a map cover of 3753 located at 375 Harris Hill Road, known as Hamlet Meadow Subdivision. And whereas Town Code of the Town of Lancaster, Chapter 400-38H8, filing a final plat, any subdivision plat not so filed or recorded within 90 days of the date upon which such is approved, plat is approved or considered approved by reasons of failure of the Town Board to act shall become null and void unless the particular circumstances of said applicant warrants the Town Board to grant an extension which shall not exceed 2 additional periods of 90 days. Such an extension may be applied for in writing to the Town Board within 30 days of the expiration of the approval. And whereas filing was not completed and the approval expired, with no such document received requesting an extension and no such extension was granted by the Town Board, and whereas Barclay Damon LLP, representing Belvedere Apartments LLC, owner of the parcels in the Hamlet Meadow subdivision, requests that the Town Board approve the proposed amendment to the 14-parcel subdivision with 11 lots in the HOA offering plan as single-family homes, and whereas review of the existing and filed stormwater facilities and private roadway maintenance agreements, along with the HOA offering plan, were made, an amendment to the stormwater control facility maintenance agreement was filed with the Erie County Clerk's Office. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the amended final plan of the 11 building lots named Hamlet Meadow Subdivision, which do not have a condo offering plan. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second? On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay. At this point in time, that concludes our pre-filed resolutions. We're going to move on to communications and reports. Number 505, Planning and Zoning. 506, received and filed. 507, received and filed. 508, Planning and Zoning. 509, received and filed. 510, received and filed. 511, Planning and Zoning Commission. 512, resolution tonight. 513, resolution tonight. 514, Planning Department. 515, resolution tonight. 516, resolution tonight. 517, received and filed. 518, resolution tonight. 519, received and filed. 520, resolution tonight, as is 521, a resolution tonight. 522, resolution tonight. 523, resolution tonight. 524, resolution tonight. 525, Planning and Zoning Commission. 526, received and filed. Now, I kind of skipped over any reports from the town board members because we had so much going on. Is there anything the town board needs to report on at this time?
My
No.
committees were here, they all reported.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we're going to,
Can I just,
yes, you can. I knew there was something I missed. Go ahead.
I applied to National Fuel. They give out free weatherization kits, and I was awarded 400 kits. So they are free to town residents. They will be coming in this week. Some will go to the senior center, some will go to the youth bureau. I think John Pilato said he wanted some at Highway. The rest will be here. They'll be out by, outside of the tax office. They will be in the clerk's office. I want to get rid of all the 400 as swiftly as we can, put them into use. So by the end of this week, beginning of next week, please come in and take any for yourselves or your family. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. At this time, the town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any town of Lancaster subject for a total period of 30 minutes. Procedure, please raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less unless the town board grants the speaker an extension of this time limit, and any unruly activity will result in expulsion from the meeting. Do we have anybody in the audience who wants to address the town board on any subject matter? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no hands raised, I'm going to make a motion to close this meeting.
Motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you very much for coming, folks. To the new employees, welcome on board. Employees switching from one place to another, good luck in the future. Take care, everybody.
Mark.